Former Coronation Street star James Cartwright has confirmed his first role since his exit as Theo Silverton. The villainous character was killed off earlier this month as part of a mystery body storyline, putting an end to his harrowing abuse against Todd Grimshaw. James has now been announced to appear in Panto this Christmas at the Bournemouth Pavilion Theatre, appearing as Baddie Abanazar in Aladdin. Set to run between December 5 and January 3, 2027, tickets are available to book now starting from £18. "I can't wait to be part of it," James said, via West End best friend. "Bournemouth is such a beautiful place, and to be here over Christmas, performing for local families and visitors alike, feels really special. Pantomime has such a brilliant tradition, and I'm super excited to dive into that world." The production is also set to star Jamie Steen as Widow Twenky and Noel Brody as Wishy Washy, the latter in his 12th year in the role. Meanwhile, following his exit, James explained why it was better for Theo to be killed off rather than face trial for his crimes. "I join a long line of people who've met Corrie's own brand of justice," he told Inside Soap's Soap Scoop podcast. "I think ultimately, it was always going to be thus." He added, "With domestic violence, and as gritty as it was, the feeling was, is there an appetite to relive it all when we've seen it? I think court cases are only good as a device if there's new evidence, a shocking witness, or somebody saw something. But actually it'd just be Todd saying what happened, Theo denying it and then reliving all of those awful events. It's been a brilliant storyline, but also it's been quite brutal, and whether there's an appetite to relive that when people, at home, are enjoying their corned beef hash, I don't know." The news of James Cartwright's return to television has sent ripples through soap fans, especially those still reeling from Theo's dramatic exit in Coronation Street. After months of speculation and silence, Cartwright has officially confirmed his first major role since the shock storyline that left Weatherfield forever changed, and viewers are already bracing themselves for another emotionally charged performance. James Cartwright, who became a familiar face to audiences during his time on the Cobbles, has been relatively quiet since his character's departure in the explosive Theo arc. That storyline, which unfolded with intense courtroom drama, hidden betrayals, and a final confrontation that no one saw coming, marked one of the most talked about exits in recent Corrie history. Fans were left divided, some devastated by Theo's fate, others convinced there were still unanswered questions lurking beneath the surface. Now, Cartwright is stepping back into the spotlight with a brand new project that couldn't be further from Weatherfield's cobbled streets, yet still carries the emotional weight and grit that made his previous roles so memorable. A fresh start after a dark chapter. According to early production details, Cartwright's upcoming role will see him playing a complex character caught between ambition and moral collapse. The series, a psychological drama currently in production for a major UK broadcaster, explores themes of guilt, redemption, and the consequences of buried secrets, territory that feels familiar for fans who followed Theo's downfall. Industry insiders suggest that Cartwright was approached for the role shortly after his exit aired, but he initially declined several offers to take time away from the spotlight. He didn't want to rush into anything, a source close to the production revealed. Theo's storyline was emotionally heavy, and James wanted to reset before committing to something equally demanding. That pause now appears to have paid off. The new character reportedly allows him to explore a different kind of intensity, less explosive than Theo's final days, but far more psychologically layered. Why fans still can't move on from Theo. Even months later, discussions around Theo's exit continue to dominate fan forums and social media. The storyline was built around deception and fractured relationships, culminating in a final sequence that left several characters' futures uncertain. What made it particularly impactful was the way it blurred moral lines. Theo wasn't written as purely villainous or heroic, he existed in a gray space that forced viewers to question their own loyalties right up until the end. His final scenes, marked by confrontation and emotional breakdown, remain among the most replayed moments from recent episodes of Coronation Street. For Cartwright, the role became both a breakthrough and a challenge. While it elevated his profile significantly, it also left him strongly associated with a character defined by tragedy and downfall. That is partly why his next move is being closely watched, a psychological shift. While details remain tightly guarded, the new series is believed to follow a man whose life begins to unravel after a chance encounter exposes a long-hidden truth. Cartwright's character is said to start as grounded and controlled, before slowly descending into paranoia as events spiral beyond his control. Unlike Theo, who was often driven by emotional impulsiveness, this role leans into restraint, suggesting tension built through silence, suspicion, and internal conflict rather than overt confrontation. Producers have reportedly described the show as slow-burning but emotionally devastating, a format that relies heavily on character depth rather than action-heavy plot twists. For Cartwright, it offers an opportunity to showcase a more nuanced performance style. One production member commented, "James brings a natural intensity that doesn't need to be forced. Even in quiet scenes, there's always something going on beneath the surface." Life after the cobbles. Leaving a long-running soap is never simple, especially one as iconic as Coronation Street. For many actors, it can mean stepping out of a well-established identity and risking uncertainty in a highly competitive industry. Cartwright's decision to step away from Weatherfield was reportedly mutual, with the storyline concluding at a natural breaking point for his character. Still, fans were quick to speculate about whether Theo's exit was truly final or whether a surprise return could ever be on the cards. The actor himself has remained diplomatic in interviews, neither confirming nor denying future soap involvement. Instead, he has focused on the importance of variety in his career. "I've been lucky to play a role that connected with people," he said in a recent statement. "Now I want to challenge myself in different ways." Fan reaction, excitement and nostalgia. The announcement of Cartwright's return has sparked a wave of excitement online. Some fans are eager to see him in a completely new light, while others are still emotionally attached to Theo's storyline and hope for some form of continuation or explanation. "Still not over Theo's exit," one viewer wrote on social media. "But I'm glad James is back. He was one of the strongest performers on the show." Another fan commented, "If this new role is half as intense as Theo's last scenes, we're in for something special." The reaction highlights the lasting impact of soap performances, where characters can become deeply embedded in audience memory long after their stories end. What comes next? With filming already underway, the new series is expected to premiere next year. If early reports are accurate, it could mark a significant turning point in Cartwright's career, positioning him as a leading figure in high-end British drama. For now, though, much of the excitement remains built on anticipation. The combination of his previous success in Coronation Street and the